Hi, welcome to Bar Cart Bookshelf, a video series about books and the drinks they inspire. My name is Elias, and today we're talking about The Raven Scholar by Antonia Hodgson. The Raven Scholar is an epic fantasy mystery that's been on my radar for a couple of months here. After a friend of the show, Alex Harrow, blurbed it, it was high on my list of priorities, and I'm really grateful to Orbit, the publisher, for sending me an advance copy even after I had pre-ordered, and I'm really grateful to myself for pre-ordering because the finished copy is really stunning and just a really nice, well-designed finished copy, because this allowed me to prioritize the book. I'm, very grateful for getting that extra little push because it's one that I had a really great time with. It's a big, heckin' honkin', huge epic fantasy, about, 650 odd pages, but I really whizzed through it. I read the last 2/3 of it in about a day. I was just dragged along, pulled along, and having a real good time. It's a murder mystery where the high scholar of this empire is called upon to solve the mystery of the death of a potential heir to the throne, and finds herself stepping into that role as contender for the throne. So in this world, Oran, we have a non-hereditary means of passing down Imperium. Every 24 years, there is a contest where representatives of cultic groups around specific guardian animals compete against one another for holding the Imperium for the next 24 years. And these 8 animal guardians sort of inform a lot of the life in this empire. And as you might guess, one of those is the Raven. And they are magnificent. And so we have as our primary character the high scholar Nima Kra, whose surname comes from sounds that ravens make. We've got all these fun little animal bits, other ravens who's got surnames like Ark and things like that. So just really delicious sorts of world building, and then a crafty, twisty little mystery where we've got all sorts of wonderful seeds laid early on that we see come to fruition. The exciting opportunity to explore a contest. A contest is always a fun little bit of structure for a nice big cast in an epic fantasy. We get to see a lot of different perspectives, a lot of different ways of solving problems, a lot of sort of broad view of the Empire, at least through this sort of elite contender lens. And then things get even a little bit weirder, because our main character, Nima, is this sort of agnostic, atheistic scholar who thinks that these animal guardians are metaphors, are ways of thinking about the world. It's like a personality test. It's a cultural mode that we work with, but they're not real. They're not real, right? Oh, come on. Don't you know you're in a fantasy novel? And they are real, and they are magnificent, and they are watching, and they just want to help when they're not distracted. And is there something shiny there? The Raven is. And so you get this wonderful narration and exploration of being spiritually the embodiment of knowledge and curiosity and grabby little things, and also ideas and behaviors and thoughts that come from keenly observed exploration of raven and fox and ox and tiger behavior and on from there. And so there are a lot of clever little things going on all at once. And as I said, I read 2/3 of the thing in one day. Once I was going. And it was just a truly grand time. It's the start of a trilogy, so I'm really excited to see book 2, hopefully before too long here, and continue on from there, because we ended things in a way that was, 1, a lot of fun, but 2, like, ooh, bummer, things are happening. And there's this wonderful timeliness, this exploration, as we see from the beginning, of elite panic and sort of rebellion and revanchist motivations, and the seeds of discomfort and what that means for a world changing. So there's this nice element of like really raw timeliness as well, and just, a grand old time. We've got foxes who are spies, and we've got engineers, and we've got, big buff lesbians who love to farm, and their wives and their children, and it's a great time. And so we had to have a drink. Our drink today is the Saul Highball, named for an aspect of the raven, the solitary raven. Because what if you had your little, inner voice? It was like, I'm so sad and lonely, and everyone hates me, and also I'm the best there ever was, and he gets to live in your head. It's just so delightfully voicey. And so we're going to start our Saul Highball with 1.5 ounces of Scotch whiskey. Nima has a great fondness for Scotch. I'm using the Bowmore 12-year, whiskey, but whiskey without an E, and so for that we're calling it Scotch, even though there is no Scotland here. We're using the Bowmore 12-year. It's a nice Islay Scotch that plays well with others. Sometimes we use, when we really want that big pop of smoke, that Ardbeg. But the Bowmore, it's a little gentler. It's got those real nice peaty elements, but is going to blend a bit better with our other ingredients, so it works really well as a base spirit for a cocktail. We'll get 1.5 ounces of that Scotch whiskey. And then we'll get 3/4 ounce of creme de cacao. Can't quite get the magnificence of the blue-black of raven feathers, but we can get our drink nice and dark and rich here. So we'll get 3/4 ounce of creme de cacao, and then 1/2 ounce of blueberry grenadine. This sort of purpley, red, blue drink, or syrup rather, made from blueberry juice, sugar, and a touch of orange blossom water. Just really nice to bring that bit of berry brightness. It's going to play well with the sort of honeyed qualities of our whiskey and the rich, dark fruitiness of our dark chocolate there in the creme de cacao. I'll get a couple of dashes of aromatic bitters. Nice herbal spice notes, warming. It's a novel that takes place over a very hot week. So we're going to get that nice drying sort of intensity there. And then we'll get some ice down into our shaker. Now, ordinarily, we would stir things that don't have citrus or dairy, but we want a little airiness in ours. After all, these are ravens we're talking about. We'll shake it up, wake it up. Nice frosty freezy. Perfect. Get our highball glass. Oh, you can smell the peatiness of that whiskey. Wonderful. Get some ice into our highball glass. Give this a stout tap. Fantastic. Handy dandy. Hawthorne strainer, always the appropriate tool. And we'll strain that. There. As you can see, we've got some space still in our highball glass. We're going to top this with some ginger beer. Have a lot of ginger in this book. Ginger as a stomach aid, ginger tea, all throughout. Unfortunately, we do have some folks who have tummy troubles. But that happens, you know. Who among us doesn't have a little tummy wart? Certainly, many characters in The Raven Scholar. So we'll top that with some ginger beer. And there you have it. This is the Saul Highball, inspired by the solitary raven and Nima Kra. The book is The Raven Scholar by Antonia Hodgson. I've got a link to snag it in the description down below. I think y'all are really going to have a great time with it. I know that I did. Got a link to snag my book as well, Cocktails and Consoles, 75 Cocktails and Mocktails Inspired by the Wonderful World of Video Games, as well as links to various forms of social media, including Blue Sky and Instagram, where there is always a written version of today's recipe. Try the drink. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Hit that like button. It makes me so happy when you do. Subscribe if you haven't already so you never miss an episode. We've got some really great books we're going to be talking about in May from authors who are new to our program and some returning and familiar and beloved favorites. So, as ever, and as I've said before, try the drink. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And until next time, cheers.